guys, so I'm on my lunch break at work and I haven't really had a chance to document anything because I don't know, I was just like in the moment and I didn't really think about it, but I wanted to talk about it so that I can look back and remember it, and then maybe connect with some of you if you guys have been through this. So Monday, I left work early and my husband and I went down to our fertility specialist and met with Dr. Will. He went in an hour before our appointment and had done a semen analysis, and then after that we were going to meet with Dr. Will and discuss those results and then what our next step would be. So we did that. We had a nice lunch together, just talked about what potentially could be happening, and it was funny because we had went to Jimmy John's and we were sitting there talking and I was saying, like, this is what I want to start IVF soon, I want ICSI, I want genetic testing, like I want this and that and this and that. And I was telling my husband that I hope that when we go and talk to Dr. Will that he's on board, because I've seen a lot of things in our support groups where people talk about how their doctor isn't really supportive of things that they want to do, and they're like too afraid to speak up. And I was just hoping that when the time came to speak up, if I didn't agree with something, that I would be able to do it. So that's why I was telling my husband what I wanted, because I was hoping that if I choked and didn't want to say anything to the doctor, that he would speak up. But I know sometimes it's just hard to say something because they're the professional. They're the ones that have done this for so long, and I'm going off of Google, you know. So anyway, we met with Dr. Will, and he had sat down and told us that my husband's analysis came back and he's all in normal range except for like the shape. But they said that, or Dr. Will had said that there's not a whole lot you can do about that. But he's in the normal range, so they have a lot more to pick from, which is great. He also stated that he wants to do ICSI and that he wants to do a frozen embryo transfer, which is what I was wanting, because I've heard you just kind of like let your body rest and get all that stuff out from all the medication that you've been taking. And he just says that studies that he has done and all the transfers and all the things that he has done, it has just shown better results. So he also stated that because of my AMH and my FSH, which he said is high, but it's not awful. So he doesn't want me to think that I have like no ovarian reserve, but he said that it is crucial that if we want to do this, that we need to be aggressive and do it now. Because he's like, I mean, how many kids do you want? And you know, my husband and I were just like, at least 2, maybe 3. And he was like, yeah, that's kind of what I figured. You guys are young and you're wanting to start your family. So he's like, I definitely suggest being aggressive and getting this done sooner rather than later. So I had asked him about genetic testing, and he said yes, absolutely, that because of my diabetes, he wants to make sure that I have the least stressful and problematic pregnancy that I possibly can. He said that because of my diabetes, I will already be at high risk, and if we put in an embryo that has problems that will cause me problems, then it would just be bad for the baby and I. So he just said that he definitely suggests PGS testing. So that's what we'll be doing. We also talked to the financial department. She broke down like what the cost would be. So one cycle oh y'all, this is nuts. One cycle is $16,241. That does not include the genetic testing. It does include the anesthesiologist for the retrieval, and it does not include the IVF drugs, which she estimated us $4,000 to $6,000 per cycle. Yikes! So anyway, that's our breakdown. My clinic also offers a $23,500 for 3 cycles, which is what my husband and I want to do, because I mean, you don't get that money back if you get pregnant on your first try. You don't get, like, if you have embryos left over, you obviously have to pay another fee to get those transferred later on down the road. But I mean, if we do, if it takes us 3 cycles to where we have to be medicated cycles, we would have to be paying $16,000. I mean, almost $25,000 every single time, compared to this, which would be I don't know, like, let's just say $30,000. So for 3, and but the only downside to this is that it requires you to meet certain criteria before you get accepted into doing this, and I meet everything on this criteria except for my FSH and my AMH. Well, I guess my FSH looks like it says that my FSH needs to be less than 13, which mine is a 10, but my AMH is a 0.44 and it needs to be greater than a 0.6. So they're going to take all my lab tests and look them over and determine if we qualify for this. Because if you qualify for this and you do 3 medicated cycles, if you don't have any eggs left over to freeze, and after those 3 cycles nothing works, you could get potentially 80, 50, or 30% back of your money that you've invested into this, which I think is awesome. And I feel like it puts a lot of pressure off of my husband and I. So, because we'll just get like one big loan and pay for this, and then we'll have still 2 cycles left to be able to do this with. So, we got this big pamphlet full of stuff. It's got like introductions, procedure information, pre-IVF testing, IVF medication samples and calendar, IVF consent forms, pre-implantation genetic screening, financial aspect, general information, and frozen embryo transfer cycle. So I've been kind of looking over this. A lot of stuff I just already kind of know from research that I've done, my awesome support group. So we talked to the financial person and she gave us that. Our wonderful nurse, Brooke, gave us this. And I had asked her if, so April 9th, I am going back in to do a saline sonogram. He calls it like a pre-transfer or a trial transfer. And it's just like they use the catheter and they shove some saline up in there to make sure that like my lining's okay, I don't have any polyps or anything weird going on, that I am ready to start my medication. So once that happens, then we will get an actual calendar of my medication, the protocol, when everything will happen. So we'll do it that April 9th. I just took the day off just to kind of like gather myself and get up there at a good time, and because I mean, like, it's happening, guys, you know, and I'm so excited, but I'm feeling so many different things. And I have some vacation time left aside, so I know that realistically we're not going anywhere this year, that all my vacation time is strictly for this. So I'm just going to take a day to myself and just prepare for what's about to happen. And I don't know, I just think it's good for my mental health. So I'm taking the day off, and then my husband is coming home and we're going up there to do that, because we also will have to do like blood screen testing. They test for like AIDS and all this other kind of things. So you have to get that done before you can even do your medications. But so we're doing that. And I asked Brooke if everything goes to a T exactly what they're thinking in their mind, when will we be doing the transfer? And she said June. Oh, I'm so excited. So if it happens in June, I'll be pregnant for my sister's wedding. I will have the baby by my other sister's, like in March, and that's when my other sister's getting married. And I'm just so excited. I just hope and pray that this works. You know, I mean, I just can't believe it. We're getting so close. I'm so excited. So hopefully everything goes as planned. I wish I would have like videotaped more while I was there, but I was just like in the moment making sure that he answered this question, answered this question, answered that question. And his plan was exactly what I had wanted, which was a frozen transfer, genetic testing, and ICSI to help with fertilization. And also an aggressive approach, which is what I wanted. You know, I don't know. I feel calm with him. Like, he's such a good guy. And he just makes you feel like he knows what he's doing, you know. It's not his first rodeo, which is really nice. And I like that we're on the same page. He did say that the transfer and the retrieval will both be in Indianapolis, not in Fort Wayne like I thought. And he requires 2 days of bed rest after transfer. So I'll be taking 2 days off. But we're trying to figure out if we want to stay in Indianapolis for 2 days or what we want to do, because, you know, I've read all sorts of things saying that they don't even want you to vacuum because of like the vibrations and stuff. And I can't imagine like traveling 3 hours after the transfer, you know, bouncing around in the car. So I'll have to just ask him and see what he advises. I'm sure he can help us out to determine what we really should do for that. But that's the update. So I want to take in my camera on my phone when we go for the trial transfer, so that you guys can kind of see what he says and see what he does, but we'll see what happens. So yeah, thanks for watching, and keep watching, be a part of this, because it's happening fast. I'm so tired of waiting. It's happening. I'm so excited. But thanks for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye.